All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, after spending 11 seasons in the NFL with the New England Patriots, wide receiver Julian Edelman decided to call it a career yesterday. Now, Edelman was a part of 3 championship teams with the Patriots, and you think about it, you look at a guy that was, unheralded coming out of college, out of Kent. This was a guy who was actually a quarterback in college, very undersized, 5'10", came in at about $175, $180. But you know what? He, really defied the odds because, this is a guy, he made a living for himself as a slot receiver, going over the middle, making those tough catches. And you think back to when the Patriots brought him in and you said, wow, they really lost something when they let go of Wes Welker. And this guy really, got on board with Patriots quarterback Tom Brady, made some big-time catches. And when you think about Edelman's career, it was the knack for always making the big play when it mattered most. Of course, that touchdown throw in the playoffs in 2014 against the Baltimore Ravens. You look at Super Bowl 49, how he came up big in that fourth quarter and actually caught the game-winning touchdown pass for the Patriots as they were able to defeat the Seattle Seahawks. Fast forwarding to Super Bowl 51, he made that big miraculous catch over the middle late in that contest when the momentum had shifted in favor of the Patriots. Of course, they were able to erase a 28-3 deficit to the Atlanta Falcons, and then of course they went on to win that contest in overtime. And then in Super Bowl 53 versus the Los Angeles Rams, when he had 10 catches for $141 en route to being Super Bowl MVP. You're talking about a guy in the regular season. He is the Patriots' all-time leader in receptions with 672. And like I always said, he played bigger than his frame. And of course, playing in the Boston area, for me, he was a Dustin Pedroia of football. And of course, Dustin Pedroia was a guy who was slight in stature, that basically played around the same time, and he really ingratiated himself to the fans of the Boston Red Sox. And of course, Pedroia was a part of several championship teams for the Sox. And you look at what Edelman was able to do for the Patriots. Now, make no mistake about it, Edelman's knees have given out on him. He's had several knee surgeries over the years. But this was a guy, he was a warrior. He left it all out there. No ifs, ands, or buts. He did have a couple of seasons where he was able to go over 1,000 yards, finished his career with 36 touchdowns in the regular season. But again, it was his knack to make the big play. One of the better slot receivers of his era, definitely one of the toughest. And, you look at Boston. Boston is a very tough town. And you look at it, the people that follow their sports, they definitely love the guys who are going to leave it all out there. And I guarantee you, Julian Edelman will never have to buy another meal in New England. And I'm not just talking about Boston. I'm talking about the entire state of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, the places that really, follow this Patriots organization. Edelman will never have to buy another meal there because he has really ingratiated himself to that region. And you look at it at the age of 35, because of course he will be 35 next month. What are the chances of Edelman returning to the NFL? I think it's a possibility. I'm not going to sit up there and say that Julian Edelman is officially retired just because his good old friend Tom Brady is still getting it done down there in Tampa Bay with the Buccaneers. And all it's going to take is a call from Big Brother Tom to say, hey, you want to come down here and try this thing with myself and Rob Gronkowski. I don't see a situation where Edelman is really going to turn back around right away. However, I would not be surprised if after the season starts, maybe week 2 or 3, he gets that itch. He gets Tom on the phone, and the rest could be history. I really could see a situation where, he takes the summer off. He's, just to rest his body, not having to go through training camp, avoiding a portion of the season. And this could be a late season signing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a possibility they probably don't bring back Antonio Brown. Of course, Edelman does not have the explosiveness coming out of the slot as Antonio Brown does. But you know what? He knows Tom Brady and Tom Brady knows him. And there's that comfort level, first and foremost. He's going to be great in the locker room down there in Tampa. And of course, this team is already committed to going back there and getting another championship. But I think a guy like Edelman would definitely fit in there. Not going to write him off completely. But if this was indeed the last chapter for him in his NFL career, he has absolutely nothing, and I repeat, nothing that he left the field regretting, because he left it all out on the field every single year. So you know what? He definitely won't be a Hall of Famer. He does not have the stats, but you look at it, he definitely, again, he came up big in those big games for the Patriots, was a part of some great championship teams. And like I said, the folks in the Boston area will never forget the contributions of number 11 at wide receiver for the Pats. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.